Hi, Chen.
Hi, Justin. Hi, Michael. Hi, Kai.
Hello. Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
Hi, Chen.
Everyone.
Hi, Kai.
Hi. Hi,
Hello,
Sharfan.
everybody.
Everybody.
Tony.
Hi, hello.
Okay, she's on. It might be.
You see me?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
ready?
Yeah.
Should we get started?
Yeah, should we get
6 o'clock.
started?
All right, welcome everybody, all you Hanyuans and Hanyuettes. Welcome to another edition of Hanyuan. We're pre-election. Hopefully we'll all be here after the election. Want to give a couple special shout outs. Nick and Scott had their fair share of difficulties in Arizona. Nick isn't feeling so good. We love her so much, and she's such a great friend of all of us. Kai, you know her so well, and Sky too. And my little niece, Alexis.
Oh, of course, I
Buffy
remember
Gilbert
you. I
just
remember
became-
you.
She became a lawyer yesterday.
Oh,
She's sworn in,
congratulations.
she's an official lawyer.
It's just all the lawyer family.
Let me show your shirt. I mean, she wants to show your shirt. Hold on. See it?
Oh, looks good.
Yeah. That was our shirt. I think Jared made those.
Well, before we
So
start,
what-
can you say something about the status of Nick?
Nick, are you on?
Yeah.
I think nothing new. I'm just gonna, I'll deal with that privately with the people who know her best. I've sent out the most recent information, but we want to give them a lot of love. I mean, Nick has always taken care of everybody, no matter who.
Yeah.
She'd give you the shirt off her back. But it's been a little bit difficult, and we want her to know that we are remembering all the happy times. I mean, I know Kai's got a lot of fun stories. We all have fun stories. So we've got a whole good group here. With me is Jim Garrett and my niece. I can see all you guys. Oh, Karen Caldwell, wow. Most of us are here because we all love Kai. Just starting off, I'd like to tell you, I remember I've been coming to San Francisco for many years, back in the, I don't remember, let me see, maybe back in the 90s. And it was always difficult because I had my wife and kids, and no, it's very expensive to find a place in San Francisco. So I come out for class to go back, and it was difficult. But Kai opened up his home to myself, to my family. Alexis was there, Nick and Sky are there. He was so generous. God bless him. He just opened his doors to us, and I'll never forget him for it. But we've had so many fun adventures. We're going to hopefully get into all that. I put down a bunch of pictures. The original ones had some description, whatever. But we'll listen to Kai a little bit, but I'd like to ask anybody if they have any fun stories of Kai or any recollections that they'd like to share with the group. Well. Can you
Well, I
hear me?
have a story, but you can wait.
Good. No, let's get this party started.
Well, it involves you as well. And
Oh, boy.
it's when we went to China in 2007. And,
Okay.
and unfortunately, Zhang Lai was ill and in his hometown. And we were 22 of us traumatized from our journey, and Kai met us, took us to the Hotel -6. And then when we found out that Zhang could not make it, Justin up and went to see Master Zhang, and I had words with Kai, and I said to Kai, "Do not lose him."
I remember
not
that
lose-
comment. Okay. Said,
Oh
do
my
not
God.
mix with other water. You don't chase Justin. He just get lost somewhere. Indeed, he behaved just like that. He's in the
I was
airport, he
going
just
no
walk
matter what.
around and never think about the schedule.
I had no idea where he was, but I mean, we were all there in Beijing and our teacher wasn't there. And that was not going to just be the way it was. So I don't speak Chinese. I was just gonna go to the airport. I knew it was in Wuhan somewhere, but they got six head up me to God. We had the greatest time, God, didn't we? Hi,
Yes,
can you hear me?
I hear you. What's your question?
We had a great time, didn't we?
Oh, we
We
have a great
visited
time.
Master Zhang.
We have
There's
the
some
best
pictures
cup
up
of
here of-
coffee. We have the best cup of coffee. Okay. In that little town, unbelievable.
world?
That coffee was like 40 bucks, 40 RMB a cup, but that was the best one. Okay. It's in Master Zhang's hometown, Anhui. Yeah.
Oh, I've got, yeah, yeah.
You
That's
remember
when the
that?
bird flu got started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have
What's amazing is that cup of coffee, 40 was 40 renminbi, and the hotel rooms that we stayed in were 15 renminbi per hotel room. So you could have stayed in six people could have stayed in 3 rooms for the same price as Justin's cup of coffee, and another 3 rooms for the same price as Kai's cup of coffee. So you can see where Kai and Justin's priorities were.
But look, you know, the thing is, you have to have visited our room that Kai got us. Yes, it was the cheapest room in all of China. But no, you would not exchange that room for a cup of whatever we were drinking. It was so cold, and the toilet was right under the shower. And there were icicles hanging from it. I had a mutiny, and everybody left and went to a Russian hotel.
Well,
But
they
Jim and I
don't
stayed
serve
there,
hot
sleeping
water,
on
just a
boxes
cold
of-
water.
It was unbelievably cold, but it was right next to Master Zhang's studio, Master Feng's studio.
Master Phone Studio,
And,
yes. Yes.
yeah.
But
So I was proud to freeze.
we picked that was because they have a big a space for us to practice Tai Chi. Okay, but this
You don't
right
mind
next-
practicing in the Arctic winter, because this was during December. And we went to a restaurant. There was a little restaurant right over the corner. It was in a back alley. We kept seeing these cats come in, but they'd never come out. And we would order food. It was like the cheapest food I've ever had. And then we would go back the next day and they'd bring out the same stuff we hadn't finished, not realizing that there was a 7-Eleven, there was a Kentucky Fried Chicken, there was all these good restaurants down the block. And we had fun. We went to, Kai took us to his favorite place with where Master Zhang would eat jiaozi. So we had a big mountain of jiaozi.
You had to order the smallest increment. You had to order in pounds.
Yeah,
Smallest
exactly.
amount.
They order in pounds as a unit. 1 pound of the jiaozi, 2 pounds.
This one, the one we had to order, we ordered 10 pounds, and that was like a small order. So I think we ordered 10 pounds of jiaozi.
That was a great
So,
trip.
and then we ordered the scrambled eggs with the fungus, the mushroom pods.
And you were there when we went to the Greasy Spoon right before we saw.
Yeah.
We went to
We
visit.
went to Kai's great wisdom was, Jason was eating and he looked into his food.
Oh,
and goes,
Jason was amazing. So we remember when I brought Jason to that sale place and he was jumping around. He bought the tennis shoes or something like that. It was a lot of fun.
It was a wonderful trip. Everybody had a good time. How many people were there? Xiaofan, you went in 2011, right?
No.
And Jeff?
Xiaofan went Xiaofan went there 2009 or
Seven?
no,
Oh,
I
9.
think
No, 2011 was the first time, and then we went again on 2015.
yeah, 2015. Yes.
And
yes.
Jim
Ming
has
Bai.
a good story in Chen Village when we visit
That's
Chen.
right.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun in Chen's village.
Well,
Okay.
I'll tell you some real fun we had. So after the conference, Kai and Shufeng connected with a Shifu who lives in Chen Village, Chen Tian Chen, and he agreed.
Yes.
He agreed to help us get to Chen Village, and so gosh, we ended up on this bus that took like 11 hours to get there. And and the car that was supposed to pick us up made it to pick us up where the bus let off and then couldn't start, so they had to go get somebody else to get them to get a battery, and meanwhile the Chen Tian and some of his students came and were practicing in the it was a big like road stop. In China, they have these huge road stops where they have like 10 convenience marts and a gas station and all this stuff. And there's nothing else anywhere around for miles. Anyways, so we made it there, and Chen Tian Chen invited us to his to this restaurant. His students were having a welcome home banquet for him. And so he wanted us to meet his students and get together, and they had this little private room in this restaurant in Chen Village. And anyways, we got through the meal. It was a really good meal. But then Chen Tian Chen sent one of his students, and they brought out like, I don't know how many boxes, 3 or 4 boxes of Baijiu, the white lightning Chinese liquor. And so they start drinking, and I don't know if people know the custom of ganbei, but when somebody says ganbei and clinks your glass, you have to down the whole thing. So we're taking pictures and we're ganbei, and I don't know how many bottles we went through, but the whole time, and their group were just getting loud and ridiculous, and the whole time Kai was just drinking glass for glass with them, and just like stone cold, expression. He's having fun, but just didn't really seem to affect him. And the next morning, only Chen Tian Chen showed up. We started practicing around 7 a.m. and none of his students were there. And little by little, they showed up, and they were just,
Well,
they were so
the
hungover.
seniors-
Well, I get to that. So, but the senior student didn't show up till around noon, and everybody asked him where he was. He said, "Oh man, I had to go to the hospital. I had alcohol poisoning." But guys,
But y'all saved money on that bus, right? Whenever I would visit Kai, I would come out to San Francisco. He would personally pick me up at the airport. We would then go right into Chinatown in San Francisco, East Wind Bookstore. When they had that upper 3rd floor, you could find all kinds of wonderful treasures, Chinese books and videotapes that wouldn't be available anywhere. And then we would usually go see Master Zhang, but then we go back to Kai's house, and it became a tradition. We would drink like 3 bottles of wine a night. And then he would expect me to get up, which I did, at like 7 in the morning so we could drive an hour to the city and maybe try to stomach a McBreakfast. But I was in no condition to do anything. But we had so much fun. And Kai, by the way, has one of the greatest libraries, Master Zhang and Master Feng, especially of our workshops we had in St. Louis. I'll ask Kai to tell you a little bit of what those workshops were like. But we would look at them all night and have another bottle and talk about, well, is Master Feng's form changing? Is it different? Is it the same? We had Kai is one of the most wonderful people to talk with, not just about the art in itself, but all the people he's met. He's met everyone. There's nobody who isn't somebody in Tai Chi, regardless of style, that Kai isn't a friend with. He's never met a stranger. Let me put it like that. But we had some wonderful, and Kai would come and we would stay at Sis's house. And Sis put us up and we would, he'd usually come in, he'd come in with Master Zhang. And they'd come in like Friday afternoon. And then we would have a class in Sis's house, it's a private class. Next morning, he would do 3 hours and then we come back for a 2-hour relaxation. Also lunch. Sis remembers when
Wait,
7 sandwiches
Relaxation.
for lunch.
there was no
Yes. No,
relaxation.
no, not Kai.
Yes.
Zhang. You remember, Sis?
Well, John, you
do
know,
I ever.
John is funny. He can finish the whole loaf of the bread. Remember?
In his driveway.
He really,
then
he really
you
can
and
eat bread.
You and Kai and the boys would stay up all night. And then we'd have class after breakfast. We'd have official class. We'd come back and do lunch. Zhang would take a little nap, have afternoon class, cook dinner, and then have more class. It was just, you know, Energizer Bunny at my house.
You tell them about that dinner we had
was
when
awesome.
you guys were, when Charlie was hunting. Kai, you remember that?
Oh,
Yeah.
we loved it. Charlie cooked for him. Charlie would cook fish or game
And then
birds.
also the
And
duck.
one time,
And then one
bit
time he
on
spit
a
out a
little
pellet
piece of
of
bird.
the, a leg pellet that was left over from the
Charlie had shot
gun,
the bird.
shotgun.
And Zhang was so happy. I mean, it was like thrilled, but he took that out. And then he understood that Charlie had shot that bird that day for dinner. It was Chinese heaven for him. I mean, the chi was still fresh in the duck and there were still bullet pieces in the duck. It was crazy.
Well, actually,
Kai is also,
thank you
you
for
know, he would also
Justin
take
allow
you to
me to
restaurants.
escort John. I really benefit from all those trips come to your place.
Well, we
Yeah.
benefited from you, but Zhang was very comfortable with you, Kai. You know, I mean, he wasn't always comfortable with the translators that we had. He was always comfortable. And you would sit there on these 3-hour plane rides, 5-hour plane rides back and forth. You were the best translator for him. Other people like George Shu and other people, they would be translating, but they couldn't help but give their own interpretation, you know, and Zhang would say like 3 words. And these guys would go on for like about 15 sentences. And Zhang would look at that. He wasn't happy with that. He just wanted us to hear what he had to say. Kai was perfect. He just stood back, allowed him to say what he had to say. But those classes were great, Kai, wouldn't you say? I mean, yes, the group classes were so much fun in San Francisco, but the detail he gave in the classes in St. Louis were like private classes.
Yeah, because he has a special treat. He really liked your group. He actually talk a lot more detail when he was in St. Louis than in San Francisco class. Yeah, he explained all.
We were catnip for him.
He
What
really
we would do
explained
is
all the detail in St. Louis. Yeah.
we would get there a half hour early. He'd
Huh?
be practicing exactly what he had taught the time before. We had the whole class lined up like an army. And that was catnip for Chinese people. When they don't ask for it, but when they see foreigners, you know, in class ahead of time, practicing what he taught the last time, it was just like cocaine for him. I mean, it just made him happy. But Kai, you have copies of all of those workshops. So do we have to put all those together for posterity?
Of course, I think did I send you the copy? I think
Yeah.
Jeff have a whole of those copy. He put everything in the right order. He pick up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you saw that thing. Maybe you should pass around. That is
No, I
from
mean, I
Jeff.
leave that up to you, Kai. I mean, Jeff, thanks so much for that. This is invaluable material. There's got to be some way we could put this online so that the school disciples have access to it. I'm looking at these pictures. That's an award we gave Kai. it was and this is my son Jason and Kai, they're old friends. Jason was like about 4 years old and he would come to class, and Kai would take him for a walk while I was getting my private
The
class.
first time
Kai would come back.
first
Huh?
time I saw Jason was a little kid. Okay, he has to hold my hand. I walk him around, and then on that first time, that was you became the disciple of Master Zhang, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So Jason now is so tall. I have to talk. I have talked with him. Head up. How is
Kai
Jason?
came back, he said, I can't believe this kid. He's like a grown-up. Sifu Herb, how are you? I see you on.
Hello. I just got, man, I just wanted to say hello to Kai and say hello to Sifu Justin and all the gang. How's everybody?
We're here.
Well,
Herb is taking over all my
that's all.
teaching in St. Louis. He's the head senior
And married.
and married. Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Jim.
So,
Herb, you got any
congratulations for your marriage.
You got
Okay.
any interesting Kai
Yeah,
stories, Herb?
Yeah, I just jumped on because I can't find my other tablet, so I'm on the phone right now. So I hope I get a good picture. I hope I got a good picture.
You, you're in Lanjai.
You got any Kai stories you want to share?
Yeah, I kind of do. If I remember the one back when we went to China and we went to the Pearl Market.
Oh,
I think
boy.
we ate dinner at the Pearl Market at the very top. And somebody said something to Kai. We were eating the chopsticks, and somebody said something to Kai. Says, Kai, I think I see something moving on my plate. Kai says, you're supposed to eat your food, not look at your food. But that's what I remember. That's all I can say, man. You know, I have a great time with Kai. Very informative.
He was always so generous.
Always so generous and willing to be generous. So that's a quality a lot of people should have in this world. But he's a great person. I really admire you, Kai. You do a fantastic
And
job.
your students stayed with Kai also, right, Herb?
Yes, yeah.
We all
I
stayed with
think-
Kai.
Yeah, I think we all did with Kai. We took a very big.
It was one time that 2001 that workshop with Master Phone, and somehow the lady could not get any reservation on a hotel. So I think maybe 20 of them. I mean, 20 of your students just stay in my house.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. He was sleeping everywhere. But, you
Remember
know,
that?
Kai gave us everything, but he was not our driver. I'm going to ask Jim if he has any.
Oh yeah, ask Jim how I drive. But not very safe.
Get off a second.
No, yeah, it was like it's Kai was, I think, the inspiration for Grand Theft Auto. So yeah, I think what was it, the first time you picked us up, we were driving in, we got lost in San Francisco, and I think Kai and I traded places, and then I drove the car, and then the next time we came into town, I was gracious enough to get out at the airport and say,
Yeah,
Jim, you
because
can just drive.
every little detail in San Francisco, you know how to drive, but not me.
And John's driving.
Oh, I drove you, Michael, and everybody on here, Tony, if you guys are Chad, and if everybody's driven with Master Zhang.
Oh, my God.
I drove with him one time, and I was cutting people off. I was a really aggressive driver, and cutting people off, you know, making really sharp turns, and he's like, good.
Oh yeah, you
No. Go like, you know,
drive when Master Zhang sit on the passenger seat, right? He is the one to tell you how to drive.
Oh my God!
Always
And
like
he's
that.
like the more aggressive and dangerous
Always
he
like
drove,
that.
the happier he was.
But I mean, when he drove, it was like slam on the brakes, go 4 miles, go slam on the brakes. I mean, he was only Kai. Well, Kai, you were better than Master Zhang driving.
What are some good stories from Kai that you have? Kai, you're not even talking. We're basically just telling stories about you now.
Yeah, we're just telling stories about Kai, you know, and that's good.
Been
You
such a
should hear
great
some
friend.
of those stories. That's very good. You should hear stories
Well, I
like that.
met all Justin student. So every time that he said, "Hey Kai, you have to take care of this student and make sure that Master John let him videotape." So I was the one that asked Master John, let the lady or man take the video. Okay, so it's a fun to accommodate all your students.
Yeah.
And you'd be translating for all the private classes too. So you got more information than anybody.
Yep.
Well, Kai's house was basically a St. Louis Tai Chi refugee camp.
Oh, well, wine bar.
Oh, well, yeah, once we realized that I liked wine so much, the late nights of Tai Chi turned into then followed up by late nights of wine drinking, which was like, oh,
But Kai never got drunk.
I don't know how. Literally one night, so we came. So for everybody in San Francisco, so we had a lesson where Master Zhang ended the class. You should go from 9 to noon and then 1 till 5, and he ended it at 4:30. And he said, "We're done." And when we were done, he took like all the teachers, and he basically ran us through the most brutal experience from basically 4:45 until 7. Until, you know, I mean, one of those things where, you know, you do the one hand, and you lay hands behind your back, and you do that horse stance for like 15 minutes, and you're basically crying from the pain. So we did that. We went and ate, and then we went back, and he worked us out from like 8 until 10. Yeah, literally in the driveway. Worked us out in the driveway. I mean, it was just excruciating. And this was like, you know, all about, you know, we have to learn as much as we can, and we're not happy. So we get done with that, and then afterwards, Kai's a participant in the observation.
Yeah,
sets,
he
right?
could stand there and
So
say,
he's watching this. We get done. So we get done with that, and then we go in and Mr. John goes to bed. We're all talking for probably up till midnight about like we're re-practicing and everything because we're supposed to show Master John this stuff the next day. Then we open a bottle of wine, and Kai basically we open up like 4 or 5 more bottles of wine because I think Charlie was still up at that point. He was like, "Oh, you guys want some wine?" I think that's what precipitated the wine. All I remember is Kai sitting in one of your chairs, and he probably went through 3 bottles of wine himself. He was perfectly fine. You could not tell that he had anything to drink. It was like he had a small glass of milk and some cookies. You know, he was completely fine. It was really extremely impressive.
well, Kai, I mean, you used to. Go ahead. Sis, I didn't hear you.
Kai has good tea, and he can process that wine without getting drunk, right, Kai?
No comment.
I would say yes, it is truly amazing.
You know, Master Zhang and Fun drank a lot, Kai, right? I remember when Simu dropped the hammer on Master Zhang.
Yeah,
I mean,
Master John
he-
used to drink a lot. He drank that kind of a 5 of Liang Yi. He can drink the whole bottle of the liquor without any problem. But I think after maybe 1997 or 8, and Simu
Yeah.
get control of it. Yeah, no more liquor. Yeah. Then
well, you know,
he
if you think
started
about
to
it,
drink-
San Francisco
started
and
drink the
that,
wine. He started to drink the wine. He said it tastes funny. He kept saying that wine tastes funny.
but Simu kept him alive for a long time, man. You know, I mean, Master Feng Wu was in China. He was still drinking. Was he still drinking, Kai? Nobody ever cut him off, did they?
Nobody
Master
cut
Feng?
him out. No, Feng, after that, he used to be a very heavy smoker. He used to smoke 2-pack of cigarette. But I think he stopped in
Oh.
after he make a trip to to US, and when he went back, he stopped smoking, but he's still drinking. Then he drank about 6 ounces of the alcohol every day.
But you were saying
Okay.
that when you were
3
out there, you
ounces
spent
for
like a month
lunch.
with him.
3 ounces for lunch and 3 ounces for dinner.
You used to like that guy because you said once he had a couple of drinks, he would talk to you about everything and would get very informal with you.
Yeah, you have to get him stop. If he doesn't drink, he doesn't talk. Okay,
So-
so I know that after a few days, I know the habit. I get him drinking a little bit, so that he's so happy. And another thing, he has a funny habit. When we go to order this Peking duck, okay, if he see there's no fat under the skin, he return it. So that means every single piece of skin that's big, thick fat under the skin, then he eat.
Oh, no.
So then
No.
eat fattening stuff and then drink liquor.
Oh, wow.
Then
One of the things I want to post is we took a private class in his backyard. It was Jim and me and Tiger and Nick. And we have about a 20-minute video of that class. And it was crazy. It was fun. It's in his backyard. If you had to go to the bathroom, you went over to the corner. He had a flower pot there with a wooden, and you peed in the pot. It was disgusting. But there's no way you could just assume. Oh.
Michael, did you have to pee in the pot?
what do you say?
Michael.
Do I have to pee in the pot? No.
Yeah, you know what pot we're talking about. The pot
Yeah, I know that. I know he
backyard,
pees in that pot all the time. Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
pot.
With all the dead flowers.
Yeah, I don't want to use that fertilizer.
There's a lot of pee in there.
So old school, so old school. But it's hilarious. He really falls in love with Nick. And I'm going to send you this tape. We can post it. He had a really nice workshop. He went over some chin-na and push hands, a little bit of form. But he and Nick really connected. He always asked me about Nick.
Whenever
And,
Nick show up for the private lesson, Master John really like to pass the art to Nick. Yeah, several times, right?
Everybody loves him. I'm going to go through some of these pictures with you so you can see what we're talking about. That's Master Zhang when we went to Wuhan or Anhui. He had, what was it? That's his whole family. That's his whole family. He had
Oh, wow.
gout, but he was taking Chinese medicine instead of getting,
He had gout.
this
He
is
had,
his, how many sons and how many daughters, Kai, in this picture?
well, when he went to his house, I think his 2 sons.
Yeah.
And his
And who are all
daughter
these people
were there.
in the
So
picture?
the family. So the only one of the older daughter was in Shanghai. Then we met all his family, the whole family.
And of the 2 sons, one son, he only taught Chen Style TaiChi. The other son, he only taught Hunyuan TaiChi. And we got a chance to see them both.
His old son doing nothing but Chen Zhaohui stuff, but younger son switched over to Hunyuan.
Well, he looked good. What's the next picture, Michael? And Michael used to be the translator too. Michael's done workshops in St. Louis. Go to the next picture, Mike.
Sure.
So that is us in Anhui. All right, so this is Ron Norwood, a very famous lawyer who's a good friend of Kai and would often take private classes. Ron is a famous lawyer, but he was also the heavyweight push hands champ in America. And he studies with, he's like a disciple of her. This is at the Great Wall. Next.
Oh, we went the first time we went to Great Wall, right? Yes.
Well, this was such a lucky picture. We were able to hook up with Master Feng. We had a lot of fun. He gave us a lot of special time and attention, and I really treasure this picture so much. It's just a wonderful, beautiful picture of our school. Okay, next. This is a workshop that Kai did. We would have Kai come in and do workshops on Tai Chi stick, Tai Chi, Qigong, Tai Chi, Chansa. And there's Herb and me next to him. Let's see who's in front. Oh, that looks like the Shay and Sky. And there's Jim on the end and Sue, Dr. Sue. Hi, go on. Next. This is Herb. No, this is Kai teaching Dr. Dale Anderson, a very famous and respected psychiatrist who also has used Tai Chi. He's created it. He does what kind of therapy? No, some kind of therapy where you learn. I forget, but he has a videotape that combines the usages of Tai Chi. It's not logotherapy. It's really. Yeah. And but he's also a very good student. I mean, many of these people, students of Kai and students of Herb, have just really done a lot with the art. Next. Okay, so this is, I call it herding kittens. This is us in Golden Gate Park trying to get a photo together, trying to get everybody together. The only person not going to be in the photo is Kai, because he's sitting there looking at us saying, "Will you get over here and get in line?" And you get, the tall people in the back. But he was always the one who would take pictures. He wasn't always in pictures because he was so generous with his time. Next. So this is Nick and Candy. That was Master Zhang's what? His niece?
And
Granddaughter.
Granddaughter.
Yeah, and there's Tiger, and there is Kai. This was in Golden Gate Park. Next. So here's Charlton, and Jim and Kai and I were in the Golden Gate Park class. Now, this is when we were in 2011. No, not 2007. Feng gave us a private interview, which is in a lot of my articles, where he talked about the fact that Hanyuan Qigong was a collaborative effort between Chen Faku and Huyo Zhen. He also said that it was primarily Taoist in origin, so this was good information. But Kai was always such a great translator. He was just perfect. All right, go ahead. This is us again.
One thing I want to add is like Master Feng always say he was very regret he did not learn all Wu Yao Zhen stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
that means I think Wu Yao Zhen actually there's a lot of the Qigong or whatever he did not learn.
Well, the point is he had master by Huyo Zhen introduced him to Chen Faku. Chen Faku taught him from
1952 to 57.
Yeah, so he only had about 6 years with him.
Yeah.
But I mean, Huyo Zhen lived about his 70s, so he had much more experience with Huyo Zhen, and I think it became obvious. And I think that he did affect the formal, I mean, it had a profound effect on the creation of the Hanyuan. But his daughter is on the YouTube, and I look at it, and let's just say I just don't understand. That's a polite way of saying this shit is crazy. I couldn't figure it out. Go on, next. There, okay, so this is my niece. She's earlier. She just graduated from law school. She's going to be a prosecutor in Kansas City, keeping everybody safe. But she is my little daughter. She grew up with us, lived with us. We had so much fun together. Still do.
Yeah.
Still do. Next.
For your service. We need the justice.
I swore her in. All right, so this is when we were at Kai's house again. Alexis was staying at Kai's house, and I guess maybe I was it. I didn't know. I stayed in the city. I couldn't drink that much. So then the next day I came out and Kai has a humongous class, mostly Chinese people. And it's outside near where he lives in Cupertino. There must have been about 30 people there. And Alexis is sitting in the back and I look up and all of a sudden there is Sky. I left Sky at Fisherman's Wharf, not thinking that she was going to come out Sunday for the class. She took a taxi that was almost $100 all the way
Yes.
to Cupertino to take the class. I mean, that's when I said, okay, this girl is very serious. And there, of course, is Brian and of course, Kai. Next. There's Brother Jim. Brother Jim. Jim and Kai have a special relationship. We all have a lot of fun together. Next. This is Nick with Master Zhang and myself. She became a disciple. I forget what year that was, Kai. That was when we were in Marin County.
That was in Marin County.
Remember?
There was a like 3 or 4 day workshop, right?
And Herb, you became a disciple that, what year was that?
Yeah, that was, yes, that was in 2012. We stayed at that Army base or Army Reserve base.
Oh, yeah,
Off the shore.
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so that was 2012.
And there was no internet connection, so we had nothing to do but talk to each other and practice. Next.
Oh,
Now this is Kai in my house.
so your little
my son,
granddaughter must
John.
be pretty tall now, right?
I'll show you a picture of it in a
Are
second.
you sure? Okay.
But Brother Kai, I mean, we love him so much. He would always stay with me at my house and we would drink wine all night. And then still try to get up, well, I try to get up in the morning. Kai was just fine. I don't even know if he slept. But he's such a sweet guy. Here he is with our granddaughter. She must have been about 2 at that age, right? And we went to the Missouri Botanical Garden. But Uncle Kai is uncle for everybody. All right, next. It is. There is Nick and Sky. Nick and Sky have
Yeah.
been teaching their own class in Illinois, Edwardville, Illinois, and in St. Louis. But they're a great team. Sky, has 21 medals from competition. She has been around. Nick has been teaching forever, and it's probably one of Master Zhang's favorites. And someday I'll tell you about her discipleship ceremony. Next. Here's a picture of, these are all the disciples. Yeah, that's interesting. Kai never became a disciple, but he was one of Master Zhang's best students. And along with Michael and Brian, the most dedicated, to be a disciple, you're basically adopting your teacher as your father and taking care of him. They've taken him to hospitals, to doctors, they've worked out his itinerary, they've paid his bills. There's never been a more beautiful show of love and support than Michael Xie, Kai Hung Lau, and Brian Guan. God bless them. It's just so beautiful to know that the tradition is still alive. They have really kept Master Zhang happy and alive, and thank you for that. Next. And there's Michael Dorgan. He's in there too. He studied with him for a while.
Well, one thing I want to say something is, originally on the first trip to St. Louis with Master Zhang, I was not supposed to come with Master Zhang. That was Brian. Brian was supposed to go. And for some reason, Brian cannot make it. He has to make a trip back to Malaysia. So this is how I get in. So Master Zhang asked me, hey, can you come with me on Friday? That was like Tuesday. I said, fine. My job, I can leave anytime I want to. So this is how we hook up in St. Louis group.
Well, one time Master Zhang asked me about other people coming out, not Michael or not Brian, other people. And I think he just wanted to give them a trip or something.
that was because some people complain about how come every time Kai can go. So I don't want to.
All right, so leave it there. Leave it there. We don't want to get personal. But I mean, I told Master Zhang, I said, Master Zhang, when we would come to St. Louis and there was no one to pick us up, and we had to all fit in one room and try to save money. Kai was the one who picked us up. What? Oh, I don't have any cheese. There's a dog here. So I would say, I said, Master Zhang, Kai is the one who picked us up, who put us up in his home, who fed us. I didn't mention about the wine. And I said, we always want Kai to come, but we also wanted Brian and Michael to come, and they did come. So we had a lot of fun. But we love Kai. Next, oh, this is Kai's family. I kept meeting them, but I couldn't remember everybody's name. This is his living room. And by the way, that calligraphy to the right I gave Kai, that's Master Chen Wang's calligraphy. Means hard and soft must combine together. Gong and Rao, is that it? Kai has the greatest calligraphy. He has calligraphy from Feng. He has calligraphy from Chen Wang. He has calligraphy from who is Jeff's teacher? Chen Zhou. It's you go into his house is amazing, and the kids are wonderful. I usually wind up sleeping in each of the rooms from time to time. But this is his daughters, his son-in-laws, his grandchildren, and not all of them, but they're wonderful people as they tolerate us. Staying up all night watching videos of Master Feng and John and drinking wine. Next. This helped me remember their names. Well, I call this Big Daddy Kai. Whenever we go anywhere, all the pretty girls just want to be near Kai. So there's my niece, Alexis, and on top of that is Lachey, a poetess. She got invited to when she died, the woman poet, the famous woman poet, Maya Angelou's funeral. And there's Sky, beautiful Sky, Lady Phoenix, I call her. And I guess we're at a restaurant or somewhere, but wherever Kai is, all the pretty girls want to step around. All right, next. So this is when we came out for Master Zhang's birthday, one of his birthdays. And we're in Golden Gate Park, and this is a class photo. Next. Me and Brother Kai, this is us in the Forbidden City. This is probably 2011, Kai. But look at how we're always fun. We always have fun. We always look like this when we're around each other. Very seldom that there's a frown on our face or we get too serious as
we always make a size trip, right? After the conference, whatever.
Yeah, we always go on our little side adventures. All right, next. This is, look at Kai way over on the left-hand side. This was another birthday party for Master Zhang, right?
Master Zhang in Malcolm's place.
His 90th.
Look at how beautiful.
Yeah.
The 90th? Yeah, that's what I thought.
And we saw restaurant.
This is where we had to. I'm sorry, what? Restaurant
Fong in San Francisco.
Yeah, that's a restaurant. Yeah, Jeff's right there.
The phone was great. There's Xiaofeng and there's Tamara and everybody. Oh, there's everybody. Okay, next. So this is me and my son, Jason. Jason and Kai are absolutely best friends. He'd be on, but he's driving home to, where's he live? Wisconsin.
That's in his home studio.
They had so much fun, and Kai taught him how to bargain. And we spent half the time bargaining. All right, next. This is when Marky Mark became a disciple, the last person to personally be introed into discipleship right before he left to return. And I had to force him to do what I had to do, which nobody else has repaid yet, which is to have a banquet for every single student of Master Zhang.
You didn't split that.
Yeah, it was in a Thai restaurant.
Yeah, Thai restaurant. Yeah.
I remember
It was
a little bit of dancing with the owner.
It was a Zagat Thai restaurant, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah, staple on the street called Amani Thai. Yeah.
It was good. Next. This is us in China. That's Kennedy, me, Tiger, Sean Tucker. There's Richard Booker, there's Xiao Fun and Jeff, and there is Kai. And who's the girl from Chile?
Carolina.
Caroline.
Carolina. Oh, they all won medals one way or another, it looks like. All right, next. This is 2011. Here it is, Big Daddy Kai and his pretty girls. That's Tiger and Kennedy, and we were at a Beijing duck restaurant in Beijing. It's a wonderful meal. We're good. Next.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Kennedy was an artist.
Where
and
is Kennedy now?
Kennedy is in Brooklyn,
So
but she's
is
also in
Kennedy
these
still in
different,
New York?
kind of, but she's always in these European artist colonies where she's getting very, very famous. She cut off all her hair. But Kai, when Kennedy came to St. Louis, Kai picked her up and her 15 bags, carried them up the steps, took care of her. When she had to go back, he brought her back. I mean, if you have, Kai has 4 daughters, okay? If you're a woman, you have a big daddy in San Francisco. Kai knows how to take good care of young ladies and women. He's the sweetest, nicest guy, though, and the girls just love him. All right, next. That's me and Kai. I think we're in Botanical Gardens in St. Louis sometime ago. I
Yeah.
like that picture. Next. This is us in San Francisco, Kai and me and Master Zhang. Go ahead, next. This is for Master Zhang's birthday. We brought him some calligraphy of Master Feng, and there's Simu, Lachey, Sky, me, Master Zhang, Lexus, and Kai. Next. Oh, this was a nice meal. Look at that food. Look at that food. This was fairly recent, I think right before he went back. Look
That
at
was like
normally, where's the
the
Jiaozi?
year he went back. Yes. Yes.
I mean, but this is not the survival Jiaozi contest. He made a lot of difference. And sometimes when you have Jiaozi meal with this family, I mean, it's just like a plate of wet cement that's going to be in your stomach. My God. This is in St. Louis. We're out at some club. Oh no, that's Square One. Square One. So this is close to where I live and where I work. There's Ramin and Kai and Tiger. Next. Now this is an award that we gave Kai. It's funny, Kai has been interviewed. He was interviewed by, what was her name? Me, Violet Lee. And it's somewhere on the
Violet, yeah.
Yeah, it's still on the internet somewhere, Kai. It's a very interesting interview you gave. She loved Kai, but we were presenting him with an award. He'd come out to do a workshop with us and to hang out, because a lot of times when we do workshops, we don't get a chance to be friends and have fun. And we wanted to recognize the fact of what a great human being he was. So this is an award for Chinese martial art, Wu Da. In other words, it's one thing to be a good martial artist, but if you don't have the character of Wu Da, the high level concept that puts other people first and that it respects everybody and that always can be depended on to bring people together, to keep them together, and to serve as an inspiration. So I think you have that up in your garage, guys, somewhere.
Yes, yes.
It's not a beer coaster. All right, next. This is, all right, next. I think we got through it all already. This is, did we do that? This is, yeah, we did this. This is Zhang Yufei. He became a disciple at the same time that Master Zhang did. So they're like brothers. He's a magnificent martial artist. But there's Kai, me, Zhang, Jim Guerra, and Jason. I forget how old Jason was. He was probably about 12 years old or something. All right, are we done? Is the next? Is that it?
Yep.
So I wish I had more pictures. We all have more pictures, but you know, I mean, we can do, I wanted to keep in touch with us every week to the extent that we can. And I want to celebrate all the people we've met and give everybody a chance to have their, you know, give this dog some cheese.
And I just want
Oh
to
my
say,
gosh.
I mean, when I started learn from Master Zhang, and for the years when I try to search what is Tai Chi for me, and Kai is really helpful, very helpful, definitely. For all the time, spend time to explain to me how he understand it and to do demonstration. And I think Tai Chi is kind of art. Once you have it, it's actually easy. But the most difficult part is try to search to try to have it. Right? It takes lots of time and lots of patience. And the Kai definitely is super helpful. I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Why did you never become a disciple?
He personally told me that I don't have to be his disciple. So then after that, I never asked.
Well, Fung also said that about to Master Zhang. He said, you don't need to be a disciple, but it was helpful for him to come to America being a disciple. How did you meet Master Zhang, and do you have any funny stories about that? I know you got thrown out at least twice, 3 times.
Oh yeah, 3 times, because in the early day, he really hate his student going out to learn from other teacher. So I was thrown out 3 times. And then after that, the 3rd time I went back, and he totally convinced that I'm really liked the art he taught me.
Really?
So,
I don't know.
and another thing I really appreciate that is like 2001, I have a chance to go to Beijing. that he was so serious about, why do you go to Beijing for? I said, my daughter is Beijing, I just want to visit her. So he said, okay, good. I introduce you to my teacher. Said that was what I wanted to see, Grandmaster Feng. And he actually wrote a letter. And he said, now bring this letter to him. He will teach you. So that indeed. So after that 2001, and then right after, I stayed with Master Feng for like 34 days, every day. He kind of taught me about 4 or 5 hours, okay? And then of course, after that, and then he came for the workshop. So then after that, and so every other year I went to see him. So until of course,
when you went to meet Master Feng for the first time, you had been studying with Zhang for how long?
like I stopped with Master John actually in 1995, but during 1995 to 1997, he kicked me out 2 times. Okay, he did not accept me until 1997. That thanks to Tony Wong. Okay, Tony Wong started to teach in 1997. I went to his ceremony for teaching. So then Tony asked me, hey, Kai, what are you doing now? I said, I told my wife that Thursday is my private lesson. So I went. So then where are you going? I said, I sometimes I go to see Jin Chen. Oh, he really irritated him. So the next morning he called me as Kai, I teach you, you come back, I teach you. So after that, then I will tell him, I said, now I'm going to see Chen Style. He makes sure that don't learn any of that stuff. And otherwise you mix his art and with my art, that's no good. Yeah.
But they respected each other as teachers, right?
Yeah.
Chen Jingzhou and Zhang.
Yeah.
And there's one
Respect each
time
other.
he told me, he basically says, you can learn from others, just don't bring to the class.
Yeah, because he has a sharp eye.
That's a classic statement.
Each has a
Mellowed
sharp
in
eye.
his old age.
You learn from other. He can see it in the first few minutes. He said, you go to learn something. I don't want to see that mix into my stuff.
And there's
So when you went to China to study with Feng, he commented that he could tell that you would study with Master Zhang, right?
Me?
Feng started your form for the first time.
Oh yeah, because then I went and I brought Master John's letter to him, and he made a funny comment. He said, look, Lao Zhang means Master Zhang. He never wrote to me just because of you. He wrote this letter to me. And yeah, so he knew that. So, and then the phone has
He
a very
was
sharp eyes.
satisfied
And,
with your form.
pardon me?
Fong was satisfied with your form when he looked at it.
He was funny. He immediately, the
Well,
first,
we
I
have
think the first
two new
day-
guests.
The
We're
first
about
day-
almost ready to wrap up, but we got two more new guests, John and Daisy. Come
Yeah,
on around
he-
and just look in here and say hi.
the first minute I moved.
Hey, I got to roll, guys. I'm getting a message from my wife, so.
Oh, hi. How are you? Nice to see you.
Good to see you. How's everything?
Yeah, it's nice to see you. Good. So how's your granddaughter? Pretty tall now. How's your granddaughter?
Oh yeah,
Huh?
yeah. She's 3.
She's 3.
3. Yeah,
Okay, 3.
yeah. she'll
Running
be 4
around.
in February.
Okay.
It's good to see everybody. I'm trying to see who else do I see.
Very nice seeing you.
Here's John.
John used to come out. with
Take
you.
care.
Yeah, sure. Oh, hi. How are you?
John was on board.
Yeah, John, yeah. Well, you talk about the first day I
Anybody
saw.
else have anything else they want to say? Yeah, go ahead.
The first day I saw phone, and then he talked to him about only 1 minute. He said, you learn standard posture before, right? He noticed it right away. Then he followed that. He make a comment. He said, don't go to Chen Xiang. I teach you myself. This is how he taught me about.
Okay, you did, I mean, it wasn't John who taught you standing.
No. I learned from a very famous teacher.
This is the.
Oh, wow. Beautiful girl. Wow, cute.
Well, it's getting up to 7. Does anybody have anything else you want to throw in?
I learned a standing posture from a guy named Professor Yu. It's a very famous Yichuan teacher.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not just like he's not a martial art teacher. Actually, he has his medical degree when he was 20 from Shanghai, Shenzhen University. Then he got his PhD in medical school from Germany. So then he came back and he learned the Yichuan. Yeah, so I have good training from him for from 1982 to 1986, 4 years.
So I just want to say hi to Karen. Haven't seen you for a while. Cheryl, hi. Is Marky Mark still on?
Yeah, Cheryl. Yeah,
Yeah, Marky Mark is still here.
Okay. I only see so many people. Well, it's 7 o'clock. We'll try to do this, come up with something. Hey, if you want, go on my Facebook page, STL. STL
I can get
TaiChi.
you. I connected your Facebook. Yes.
Oh, I just gave an interview to Vlad. You remember Vlad? He wanted me to say hello to you.
Yeah.
Vlad Sodorov is a famous teacher in Russia and a good friend of ours who came out and visited Kai. That was a funny story. We missed the plane 4 times because of snow and had to fly backwards in order to get to San Francisco. But one of his students wanted to ask some questions about push hands. So I have about a 45-minute interview on there. Some people said, "Oh, it's great." Some people haven't responded yet.
I
So
watched that interview.
that's what they said. They said, "Oh, it's very interesting." I've yet to hear. My art has gone through a total transformation, and I want you to be my Sifu now. Apparently, it was a good interview. I mean, I said what I have to say, but I invite you all to go ahead and listen to it. I love you all. What do you want to do next week?
Who's gonna be next? to
We'll
interview.
come up with something. We got to do Malcolm somewhere along the line. But, you know, there's so many people we can talk to and there's so many subjects that we can discuss. This has just been phenomenal. I never get a chance to hang out with you guys like we do every week on this thing. And all of these are on tape or we have copies of it. We go to Michael's YouTube page. What is that, Michael?
I can't understand, but how about his YouTube page? I can send out. Yeah, I will put it in the YouTube page and send it to everyone. Yeah.
How do they know to get, what is your YouTube page
I think
name?
it's called TaiChi, TaiChi-Tao, something like that. Yeah. If you search for either my name with TaiChi, you should find it. Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Share TaiChi. So there's a lot of good stuff on there. You can catch up on. A lot of the stuff I've listened to more than once and found them fascinating. Karen, are you good? I love you.
Well, hopefully we can get together sometime and drink a lot of wine.
Well, we can still drink online.
Yeah.
Here's the brother Kai. Let you know
Bye.
of all the things that I've learned in Tai Chi. You know,
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Okay.
friendships have been in many respects the most rewarding. Here's the brother Kai. Brother Kai.
Well, thanks everyone.
Hey, Kai.
Bye bye.
Get together. Very
Thank you,
good.
Kai, for everything. You've been a big
Thanks,
friend.
Bye. Thanks, Justin.
Okay.
Thank you.
My
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Hey,
Bye.
Connie, how are you, baby?
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Love you.
Thanks.
I do this all the time. If you
Thank
come
you,
up with
Mike.
some good ideas, let me know.
Okay.
That's Alexis.
Thanks, Michael.
No problem. My pleasure. Yep.
Yes.